just realizing now how bad my nails look, so please ignore that. Please ignore that. My sincerest apologies. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough week, which is partly why I wanted to make this video today. I'll just quickly start by saying that I hope you're doing well. Sincerely. I sincerely hope you're doing well. Wherever you are. Yeah. And I'm sorry that there has been just like such a delay on me getting a video out to you. I know I missed all last week, but I was having issues with my mic, or so I thought, and I picked up a new mic. This is a new mic that I'm using right now, which, by the way, I have it set to all of the same settings as my old mic, but there may need to be some like troubleshooting or whatever. So you can let me know. You can let me know if the sound is not exactly what you're liking, but it should sound pretty much the same. But I actually am now wondering if it was not a mic related issue, and I'm not even going to say what I think it was because I feel so stupid, but I don't know if my mic was actually having an issue, but now I have to. So anyway. So, thank you for filling out the poll in the community tab that I posted yesterday. And simply, I asked how you wanted me to show up to my next video or videos. And because for me, I know, well, let me back up. I know for a lot of people, YouTube is a place to relax, de-stress, forget about the world, forget about problems in the world, what have you. And I totally get that. And that is content that I can create, certainly, and I will. My next video is going to be about something much more fun than this. But it's also important to me that I show up in a way that is authentic and genuine and sincere and reflective of who I am as a person. Sorry, the lighting is kind of wonky in here today. Maybe it's the way the camera is positioned. So sorry about that. But yeah, it's important to me that I am honest with you about where I'm at and how I'm doing. So I alluded to that in the poll, asking if folks were interested in me, like, just getting real again. I've made some videos like that, though never like this. Or if it's better for me to just stick to like the fun, light content because that's what people are needing right now. Or if I should do both, if I should just make both videos. And the option for both videos was the overwhelming winner. Got like 70% of the vote. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it real today. And then we are going to have a lot more fun in the next video. But I'm hoping that by creating this, it might resonate with some people. And even if it doesn't resonate, even if it doesn't resonate with you specifically, like this exact thing that I'm talking about, it might resonate in some other part of your life or become applicable or just help you to know that you're not alone when you feel hard feelings or what have you, because I've noticed in this last week, and I've noticed in this last honest, ASMR has been getting me through this week because I feel like she is such a kind and compassionate soul. And I feel like a lot of the other content I've seen has just been like normal, everyday content, like nothing is going on in the world. And again, I know that there's value and utility in that. But for me right now, I'm wanting to see something that makes me feel seen as a person. And so it felt like I would be doing a disservice if people were wanting that from me and I wasn't giving it. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm getting really annoyed by this lighting. Let me see if I can fix it. Okay, yeah, so I think I just needed to get away from that window because the sun is coming in and out and it's like messing with the lighting of this video. Sorry, I know that's like small potatoes, but it was kind of bugging me. So yeah, anyway, I want to create content that makes people feel seen and heard and is real and authentic with who I am as a person. And so that's what we're gonna do today. Now, if you're not in a place where you are interested or able to hear about this type of content, and I'll let you know, it's going to be focused on like the sort of political landscape in the United States and my thoughts and feelings, which are my own. They are not in any way intended to try to change your opinion or to make you feel a certain way. This is just me coming on here to speak my own truth and to again feel like I am connecting with you on a real level. Because it's really hard for me, as much as I want to make content for you, to pretend like I am doing super well when I'm not. I'm actively not doing very well at all. And I just think you should know that. I think you should know that because I want to foster that kind of relationship with you. Especially if I'm asking how you are and wanting for you to share your life with me in the comments. It's not fair for me to just hide certain parts of my life for the sake of, I don't know, losing subscribers or whatever, or being a little bit controversial, and that's not my intention. I don't intend to be controversial in any way, but I just know that when you talk about anything political, it can get a little bit negative, and I want you to know that's not my intention. But again, if you're not able to take in that kind of content right now for whatever reason, then I certainly do encourage you to disengage from this video and find something more lighthearted. I totally understand. Some people may feel like they need this right now and others may not. So I respect whatever decision you come to on that. And on a similar note, if you are somebody who intends to engage in hate or violence or just like trolling behavior on a video like this, then I do hope that you will disengage. I know that nothing I can say or do will necessarily stop you, but just know that I will delete and block any really hateful negative comments. And so at the end of the day, it's just not worth anybody's time, you know. Obviously, people will do what they're gonna do, but I'm hoping that this is not what this video creates. That's never my intention. I never want to sow discord or like any kind of conflict. You know what I mean? Sorry, I know that I am rambling just about what this video is without saying what this video is, and that is because I am in a very low vibrational state, as you can probably surmise. And that's just how I'm showing if you've watched some of my recent videos, you know that I am very politically and community engaged. And in my everyday work, my paid job, I do a lot of political advocacy and community building work and organizing, grassroots organizing, things of that nature, right? So that's always been my world. And then outside of that, I do my own sort of political advocacy and engagement and community building that is completely separate from my day job. So while those tasks are very related, what I do outside of my job isn't on behalf of my job, right? It's just it's my work and it's also my hobby, which I wouldn't really recommend most people to do, because it's draining, but there are people who just really want to do that work, right? And I'm one of those people. So, obviously, from a work standpoint, there's been a lot going on, and I'm not going to really cover that because that's not what I'm upset about. What I'm upset about is what has been happening in my local community, where I live, and the types of conversations that I've been having with people. And to be honest, I can't even tell you a lot of it because the video will get flagged and taken down. Some people have been saying really awful things to me in my community. And I don't want to make it sound like it's just directed at me, but I'm going to show up here to speak from my experience of how people have spoken to me and to my friends and community and loved ones and what have you. So if you saw one of my recent videos, then you know that every week in the lead up to the election, there have been sort of, I don't want to even call them protests, they're not that, but sort of peaceful gatherings where people from sort of all walks of life come out in support of something, right? And what we've done, me and other members of my community have come out not in support of any political candidate. So it's funny that this should even be considered political, but in this day and age it is. And we have come out in support of certain values, right? Like kindness, compassion, equity, inclusion, things of that nature, right? And so that means we hold up signs and flags and things that feel representative of our community where I live. And again, not one political sign, right? Nothing to endorse a candidate, nothing to say who to vote for. It's not that. It just has felt like there has been so much hate from the other side of the aisle that we wanted to show up in a way that felt supportive of the community. And if you want to make certain things political, you can. But the intention was never to be, again, in support of any particular political party. And so just by showing up in that space, in our sort of downtown area, waving to people, smiling, dancing, just showing that we're there to sort of hold space for them, the people who identify with those things, right? We received a lot of really nasty comments from people. More so than ever, right? Because it was so close to the election. And so on the other side of the street, there are always people who are doing similar work, but very much endorsing a candidate and very much using language that I consider to be aggressive, inflammatory, violent, both in their signage and in the chants and the words that they say and the conversations they have with us. And a lot of the time we're able to block it out because we would play music and not engage. But on this last occasion, they brought megaphones. And so it was impossible to not hear what they had to say. And piece of the community aspect. And on election day, I did do, I don't even want to call it work, but I was at the polls, not in a formal capacity, but I was showing up in support of local community advocacy, we'll say. And so we had a table set up with baked goods and with information about political engagement. And I'll just say, definitely more progressive leaning, because that is where I lie. But at the polls, you'll find tables and setups for every kind of like political party, every kind of candidate, we'll say. And so I was where I felt appropriate being, based on my own political beliefs, and whatever yours are yours, right? And we had some good conversations. But we also had some really tough conversations. Very similar to like what we experienced by the men with megaphones the day prior. And, or it was a few days prior, but whatever, that's not relevant. And, I think there are a few things I can say about this that might not get flagged. But, I remember there was a man who came up to us, and at this time we were a table of 4 women. And that changed throughout the day. We kind of did this in shifts, as a community, as a party, as whatever. And this person comes up to us, and we're like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Would you like a baked good? How's your day going? Like, pretty casual. And he says, well, I'd like to tell you something, and you're not gonna like what I have to say. And we're like, okay, well, what would you like to tell us? And he's like, well, the problem that I have right now is that I believe that really a woman's only purpose is to make babies and to have families, and I'm not seeing enough of that. And that's how the conversation started. And as you might anticipate, it went extremely downhill from there. Not because of the way we engaged, but because he just felt comfortable to continue on to talk about women's health and women's rights and so much more. And that's where I kind of have to not get into more of it, but and again, it's the comfort and coming up to a stranger and telling them that you don't think they should hold certain rights or values as an individual that he can hold. You know, it was interesting because he kept kind of falling back to the whole traditional values. Women need to be having families. They're not doing that, blah, blah, blah. And we asked him, we said, okay, do you have children? And he said, no, I don't have children. And we said, okay. So I have to have children, but you don't have to have children. But you're so committed to the, like, nuclear family, the patriarchal systems of our society. But you don't have to participate in that. Only I have to participate in that. It doesn't make any sense to me. And there's not really any arguing with a person like that, so we don't, right? But it's hard to know that that is representative of our society. That wasn't the only conversation like that we had that day. There were multiple, some worse than others. And so I'm just exhausted by it, if I'm being honest. And one of my friends was like, well, did you know that 1 in 3 women are SA'd in this country? And he's like, that's not true. that true for us? That's true for us, you know? And after he left, he kind of had a conversation about that, and just like, you know, the fact that we could all raise our hands and say that that statistic was true for us means something, you know? But he just didn't want to hear it. He just didn't believe it. And again, there were a lot of things that he said that were worse. And it was like he didn't even think that he was being rude. Like, the way we were talking was just, it was like this, right? Well, not whispering, but he wasn't raising his voice. He wasn't necessarily trying to talk over us. He was just speaking in a very matter of fact. This is how it should be. This is what I believe. This is my problem with you. And so again, that degree of comfortability with a stranger, with a handful of strangers, is deeply concerning to me. And I fear that that will only escalate these next 4 years, is because there is now this platform where that is acceptable, if not admired by many. And I'm scared. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I don't have anything to worry about, right? We all hope that. But I can make no promise, right? I don't know. And that's what I'm seeing here in Vermont, in a very blue state historically. Just this wave that has kind of come through. And before I get into the rest of my sort of chronological story, I want to pause and just clarify what I mean and how I'm feeling. I want to be really clear. When I'm talking about this wave, I am obviously referring to a red wave. But it's so much more to me than this red versus blue dichotomy. That's not my issue. My issue lies more with the values of the individuals who are coming into power. So I just want to be clear about that. For context, Vermont has a Republican governor. Again, we're a very blue state, but our state loves Governor Phil Scott. And I get it. He's actually voted or ranked as the #1 governor in the country. He is beloved by everybody here. Is he my best friend? No. But, if everybody in our state who was elected, who I have concerns about, was like Phil Scott, I would not be concerned. I would not be scared. If everyone in the country that was elected, that I'm concerned about, was like Phil Scott, we can work with that. It's the people who are elected that are inciting violence against marginalized communities, who are very big advocates of stripping certain rights away from individuals, who are so scary to me, that I'm worried about. Those are the people that I'm worried about. So I don't want to come into this conversation making it like a red versus blue thing. What I am fixated on is the value of the person, if that makes sense. What they represent, what they are showing up with, and what they are showing our communities. I hope that makes sense. I find it hard to gather my thoughts right now, but so anyway, election night comes and we're doing like a watch party with a bunch of people. swings left to right. Every 4 years, every 8 years, more or less, whatever, we see that this happens. Red wave, blue wave, red wave, blue wave, what have you. But it does feel like we're coming at a crossroads. We're coming to a crossroads. I think there's just such disenchantment with our two-party system. And I say that based on what I've seen, what I've read, what I've heard, and how I feel. I'm completely disenchanted by our two-party system. I think it's broken. I don't think it works. I don't think it represents a vast majority of the people who live in this country, myself included. And my roommate keeps kind of asking rhetorically, where are the 15 million votes? And by that she means, where are the 15 million people who showed out in 2020 that did not show out in 2024? We know. We know where they were. They did not come out. And I know a lot of people want to blame third-party voters. But those votes, they don't even move the needle. Those aren't the 15 million votes, is what I'm saying. It was a very small percentage of what we saw was third-party voting. What we saw is that people didn't come out. That we expected to come out, right? And I'll just say, like, even almost a week later, I know votes are still being counted. It's not going to end up being 15. I think it moved down a bit. Maybe 10, 11 is what we'll see. I don't know. We don't know yet. But it's a significant number of people who stayed home. And we like to point fingers, right? And say, well, if you just said come out to vote, this election could have went differently. And I'm so tired of us blaming the people for the failures of our two-party system. It is the candidate's job to earn everyone's vote. That is my belief. And a controversial one, apparently. But that's how I feel. I understand the purpose and intention behind harm reduction. I do. But I also understand the purpose and intention of wanting to resist having to constantly choose between the better of the two evils, or what have you. Because that's how a lot of people feel. A lot of people do not feel represented by either party. And unfortunately, in the United States, only two major parties prevail. And sure, you can vote third party. And I will never say that that's a throwaway vote. Because I think the people who run third-party campaigns work really hard. But we know, here in this country, that a third party will never prevail in the sense of winning a presidency. It won't. Vermont is one of 2 states that legally recognizes a third party, a progressive party. We are a blue state. It is not easy to have more than 2 parties. Vermont does it, right? I'm not saying the Progressive Party is wildly popular. But if I'm being honest, I do identify as a progressive person. I do. But it's not likely that we're going to see that level of traction in our current national political landscape. It works as it's designed to work, in my opinion. These are my opinions. And I think a lot of what we're seeing now as a conflict of class. The people who are not commonly feeling represented are people who are really hard-working, working-class individuals who feel they have been left or abandoned in the political process, who don't feel like these candidates care about them. And I'm never going to blame somebody for feeling that way. I think voting is really important. I went out to vote. I vote in every election, every local election, every school board election, every presidential election. If there's something I can vote on, I will go and I will do that. That feels really important to me. But I don't want to make somebody feel bad for having their own views and opinions when they feel like they are just not represented. Of course, I'm speaking from the experience of a particular ideology. I've already confessed to you that I am more progressive leaning, but this goes for the entire political spectrum. I know there are people on the other side who equally feel unrepresented, people in the middle who don't feel represented, who aren't voting or writing in candidates or whatever, right? But I just think candidates should have to earn their constituents' votes. I don't think it should be a given. I'm really tired of that narrative because it creates this degree of stasis, complacency. It's just more of the same. It's always going to be the most important election of our lives. Every 4 years you're going to hear that. It's always going to be the same thing. It's always going to be, there's this person and there's that person. And that person wants to take away your rights and they're way worse. Maybe you don't like this person. Oh well, that's what you got. And that's true for both sides, right? Pick a side. That's the same narrative that they're being fed, right? So these are just things that I'm thinking about. And I'm just feeling frustrated by the entire system, the entire political system in the United States. We talk about the importance of democracy, but I don't see democracy well reflected in a two-party system. I see democracy much better represented in something like ranked choice voting, where you have way more choice in who gets elected. And I'm really sorry if this video angers you, if you feel really committed to a particular party, or you do feel represented, and if you do, that's great. You know what I mean? Like, cool. But a lot of people don't feel that way. And I'm definitely curious to see what other people think who are watching this who don't live in the United States, because I know a lot of the people who engage in this content and my videos are not from the US. I know because I sent them Halloween cards. And I hope they all got them. I don't know, mail's weird and I've never sent things out of the country, but regardless, I'm really curious to get everybody's take on this, you know, as someone who doesn't live in the United States. What does this look like to you? What the hell is happening? Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I am sad. I am scared. I will be honest and say that I did want this election to go differently. I did. And on election night, I saw people, friends, just sobbing that I've never seen cry before. People who are just really scared about what's happening. Queer and trans friends who don't know what to expect the next 4 years. And I think that's incredibly valid. And then the following day at the office, hearing one of my closest friends tell everybody that her brother is trans and young, scared she is for him, and how hard she was crying. And that made me cry so hard, which I don't like to do at the office. I mean, I don't really like to cry that much in general. I'm working on it, but I just kind of internalize everything and get real depressed. It's not good. I know that. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just depressed. And scared and anxious, and I don't feel like myself. And I hope it's all for naught. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's not that serious, but for now it feels really serious. And I'm just so disenchanted in our political systems. And that's coming from me, somebody who is very, very politically involved. Mostly locally, like I will say that. But I obviously care about what happens around the entire country. And so just thinking about what comes next, I don't know what this means for my job and the work that I do and that I get paid to do. There are a lot of things that we're not going to be able to do now. And so I don't know what that looks like. That's kind of scary too. Where do I fall into all of this? How does my work continue as an organizer and advocate? I don't know. Nobody knows right now. Just a lot of uncertainty. But I do know that rest is important. And I know that joy is revolution. Joy is resistance. It's important to still find hope, glimmers of hope, even when it's really hard. I know that building community will always remain an important pillar in my life's work. So that's what I've been working really hard on lately. Spending time with my friends and loved ones. Creating a safe space in my home for anybody who wants to come over. And just making sure people know that they are loved and cared about and have a safe place with me. Because, like, I want all of those things too, right? Like, I'm really grateful for community. And I really hope that you have community as well. And I hope that you're doing okay. I feel like all week I've just been trudging through quicksand. It just feels heavy and hard and slow. I've been so unproductive. And that's just me being real as somebody who suffers from mental illness. Like, it's just what it is. I can't help it. I'm trying, and I'm getting there. I'm making this video today. And the sun is shining, and I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to take a walk, and I'm going to try to connect with some friends, and listen to music, and just be present, and remind myself that in this moment I am safe, and in this moment you are safe. At least I hope. I really hope. And know that if you are in a place of struggle, if you're feeling similar to how I feel, that you're not alone. You're not alone, and we'll get through it together. You don't really have a choice, so we'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it. And again, I'm sorry that this is a gloomy type of video. This is not how I necessarily like to show up. But this is how I felt all week. And I'm doing my best. It will get better. We're just gonna keep doing the work to protect our loved ones and ourselves, and to find joy where joy settings for this mic and the visuals and